he want to fight in White House, and I also want to be there.
If Islam's able to take down JDM and get his back, hold him there, out grapple him, stifle him, he could potentially do that. But the one thing I love about JDM when he fights is he never accepts the position.
It's possible. It's gonna be hard, but Islam can win the second belt.
Something massive just dropped in the MMA world. Islam Makhachev could be headlining a fight card at the actual White House, and the entire combat sports community is losing their minds. But wait, it gets even crazier. Ilia Topuria's name is now being connected to this once-in-a-lifetime event. Islam himself just spoke about the possibility of fighting at the White House, and you can tell he's genuinely excited. He called it a huge moment for MMA, and said if the UFC officially approves it, he's 100% ready to go. This isn't just another title defense. This could literally change the sport forever. The whole world is watching to see if this becomes reality. Even casual fans who never watch MMA are starting to pay attention to this insane possibility.
He want to fight in White House, and I also want to be there.
Yeah, that would... Is that the biggest fight for you, do you think? And again, I know I almost don't like asking these questions because I know you got a big fight in front of you, but is that the biggest fight that they could
I
make
think,
for you?
yeah, for the, like, it's gonna be like big, like, for MMA community, it's gonna be big fights, you know? And people want this fight, and if UFC want this fight, and we can do this.
Here's where it gets interesting. Some critics claim Islam's dodging Ilia Topuria, but the MMA Guru completely destroyed that narrative. He pointed out that Islam's moving up to welterweight to fight Jack Della Maddalena, which is actually way riskier than staying at lightweight. Fighting a naturally bigger guy with knockout power? That's not avoiding anyone, that's straight up looking for trouble. That kind of move proves Islam's chasing greatness, not running from challenges.
If Makhachev was not fighting Ilia Topuria because he wanted to defend his title against Max Holloway for a BMF belt, maybe I'd say, okay, he's ducking Ilia. He wants an easier matchup against a striker, maybe. But when Makhachev's ducking Ilia Topuria to take on Jack Della Maddalena at welterweight, upper weight class, you ain't ducking. And if you are, that's not a clever duck right there. That's a real dumb duckling. Because Makhachev's moving up to face a dangerous kind of Ilia Topuria, but bigger. Maybe not as, like, dynamic as Ilia is, or the star that Ilia is, but if you're talking really tidy boxing and really good takedown defense and sprawls.
The MMA Guru then compared JDM to Ilia and dropped some truth bombs. Sure, JDM doesn't have Ilia's fame, but his boxing is razor sharp, his defense is tight, and his takedown defense is elite level. Guru's prediction: this fight won't be competitive, it'll be a total blowout one way or the other. Either Islam's wrestling crushes him, or JDM lands a bomb and it lights out. No matter how it ends, fans are guaranteed fireworks on fight night.
You're talking JDM and Ilia Topuria in the sport, so this is a new test. My take on this fight is that this will be one-sided in either direction. That's my take. I don't think it can be boring. I know it could be, where maybe Makhachev does stall it out, but I think if Makhachev does have an advantage in the grappling, lighter man's skill is something that comes up a lot in MMA. And I think he will be able to use that into a finish. You know, you said about his survivability against Burns, which was crazy because he broke his arm in that fight and still survived some really bad positions.
But here's the reality check. Before any White House dreams come true, Islam's got to survive Jack Della Maddalena first. And this fight has experts completely divided. Some think Islam walks through him easy. Others think JDM's about to deliver the shock of the century. When Islam talked about Jack, he didn't sugarcoat anything. He acknowledged Jack's striking is dangerous. His boxing is clean and his timing is on point. But Islam also noticed weaknesses in Jack's wrestling. That said, he admitted Jack's ground game isn't bad. He stays calm under pressure and knows how to survive, which makes him a legit world-class threat. It's a fight where one mistake could instantly flip the momentum either way.
Honestly, yeah, I watch all his fight. He's good. Striking is good. His boxing is very good, you know. And his wrestling not so good, but he good in the ground. He know how to defend, how to escape, how to get up, you know. He have good skills in the ground also, but I saw his wrestling just not good, but he know how to defend, you know. And like he's striking really good. That's why he's the one of the best in the world, and he's a world champion right now.
Islam dug deeper into Jack's wrestling and revealed something important. Almost everyone Jack's fought in the UFC has been able to take him down at some point. But here's what separates Jack from others. He doesn't lose his cool when he hits the mat. He defends smart, stays patient, and finds ways to get back up. That mental toughness is what makes him so dangerous. That composure under fire could be the key factor in whether he survives Islam's pressure.
I haven't talked to you since he beat Charles Oliveira. What did you think? What did you think of that lightweight title fight?
Yeah, he's good. I saw the fight. He's good, you know. And the guy, Charles Oliveira, he going to finish always, you know. Or you finish him, or he finish you, you know. That's why this guy is so dangerous, but it's so good fight. And now I don't know who is gonna be next for Ilia. And if we talk about our fights, I have good fights now, and I know he's gonna fight soon, and we'll see what's gonna be happening, you know.
Dan Hardy gave his take on Islam's welterweight move and said the timing couldn't be better. Yeah, Jack's boxing is world class, but Hardy believes Islam's entering this weight class at his absolute peak. He's physically bigger now, stronger than ever, and mentally sharper. Hardy thinks Islam might actually be scarier at 170 than he ever was at 155. If that's true, the entire welterweight division should probably start getting nervous.
Islam, he's moving up to 170. He's going to be fighting JDM for that title. Do you think he gets the job done, or how do you see the fight playing out?
Man, I've been high on JDM for a long time. You know, I remember doing interviews back when Ngannou was crossing over to boxing, and people were talking about who's got the best hands in MMA, and I was saying JDM at the time. I mean, his boxing's always impressed me. But at this point, I feel like Islam's moving up a weight class at the right time. You know, there are a lot of fighters that stay in a weight class for too long, and they seem to kind of stifle their physical growth. I don't think Islam can stay healthy and stay in that lightweight division for any longer. And I think right now he's allowed himself to move into a division where his body's just going to grow into it. He's going to be incredibly powerful.
Merab shared his honest opinion and said Islam can absolutely win this, but it's not going to be a walk in the park. He gave JDM props for his striking, but pointed to Islam's wrestling and fight IQ as the difference makers. Merab mentioned that Islam can study Jack's last fight and make smart adjustments. Bottom line, the fight's unpredictable, but Islam's pace and championship experience might be enough to pull it off. Merab's breakdown perfectly sums it up. This is a real 50-50 chess match of styles.
Do you think that he gets the job done and wins that title, or do you think JDM retains?
It's gonna be hard for him, but it's possible to Islam Makhachev wins the second belt. JDM is great fighter, great striker, but Islam is tricky. He has a good wrestling, and he's southpaw. He don't get hits, but he takes people down and he mauls people down. So, and also we all see the JDM Belal Muhammad's fight, and then I'm sure Islam will take lots of lessons from this fight, and maybe Islam will make some adjustment. It's possible. It's gonna be hard, but Islam can win the second belt.
But not everyone's betting on Islam. Beneil Dariush admitted something surprising. His gut feeling is leaning toward JDM right now. He brought up the size advantage and Jack's incredible cardio as major factors. Beneil said it's close, but something's telling him the Australian striker might actually get it done and stun the world. Hearing a top lightweight like Beneil say that shows just how dangerous JDM truly is.
When I spoke last time about Islam versus JDM, now only weeks away, do you still favor Islam in that matchup?
I'm gonna lean now towards JDM.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like the size will make a difference. Cardio wise, JDM has great cardio. Maybe I'm wrong, but now this is all feel. This is one of the few fights where I can't really give you a clear answer. So I just feel like JDM.
Kamaru Usman jumped into the conversation and called this one of the most fascinating fights he's seen recently. He said both fighters are improving at lightning speed, and people who thought Islam would dominate are starting to have second thoughts. Usman's convinced this fight is way more competitive than anyone originally believed. He said, it's a very, very intriguing fight. JDM is growing at a rapid pace, and we all know what Islam possesses, and we know how good Islam is. So I'm intrigued about that fight. Kamaru went on to explain how perceptions have shifted since the fight was first announced. Initially, fans thought it was either going to be an easy Islam win or that JDM was just too big. But now, as fight night approaches, everyone's realizing this is actually a toss-up. This could genuinely go either way. When someone like Kamaru says it's a coin flip, you know this matchup is the real deal. Demetrius Johnson gave his breakdown and called this a pure skill versus skill matchup. He emphasized how significant it is that Islam's even getting a chance at 2 belts, since the UFC rarely allows that anymore. DJ also highlighted JDM as a serious dark horse with elite technique who already proved himself in a big way against Bilal Muhammad. For DJ to praise both guys like that shows the level of respect this fight commands.
Islam Makhachev getting the opportunity to go up to 170 to have that, you know, double champ status. The UFC doesn't allow that anymore, but the double champ status, taking on JDM, where I feel like JDM was a dark horse, right? Not very known to the public, great technique, great grappling, but the beating he put on Bilal Muhammad, being able to finish him and just out jab him. A lot of people said that fight was gonna be boring. It turned out to be a banger fight. For him to take on a guy like Islam Makhachev, not steering away from that challenge.
DJ kept going and praised Jack for having the guts to accept this fight. He mentioned both guys will be similar in size, which makes the matchup even more interesting. Plus, Jack's training with absolute killers like Craig Jones and Alexander Volkanovski, so he's got the perfect team to prepare for Islam's famous Dagestani wrestling attack. That kind of preparation could be the difference between surviving and thriving on fight night.
Islam is coming up, so he's going to be, I feel like comparably size-wise, they're going to be about even, you know? It is super good. JDM's got Craig Jones in the camp to, you know, battle. And Volkanovski to battle that, you know, Dagestan wrestling. It's going to be, it could be 2 things. It could be a very, very boring fight, or it could be a very, very exciting fight.
Demetrius wrapped up his analysis by saying this fight could play out in 2 completely different ways. If Islam controls the grappling, it might turn into a grinding chess match. But he gave Jack credit for constantly working to escape and fight back. So even if Islam gets top position, it won't be boring. This could still turn into an absolute war. Either way, fans are in for a tactical masterpiece or a total slugfest, maybe both.
If Islam's able to take down JDM and get his back, hold him there, out grapple him, stifle him, he could potentially do that. But the one thing I love about JDM when he fights is he never accepts the position. When he was fighting Gilbert Burns, great grappler, takes him down. Right when he gets up, he throws that knee into the void. Gilbert Burns ducks down into it.
The MMA Guru closed things out by saying he's genuinely pumped for this fight. He reminded everyone that JDM started his UFC run 0-2, then flipped the script and went on an insane knockout streak. Guru thinks JDM's evolved into something special, and he's boldly predicting Jack beats Islam and shocks the entire MMA world. If that prediction comes true, it'll go down as one of the biggest upsets in modern MMA history.
Makhachev JDM, this one's special to me. Okay, I've been watching JDM since the regional scene when he was taken out. Some of the if you haven't seen it, go and watch back Jack Della Madalena's regional KOs. Some of the nastiest KOs you'll see. He was destroying people on the regional scene. Started 0-2 in his career, went 10-2. After that, 10-fight win streak, and then since has been on a crazy win streak. I think he's on like a 17, 18-fight win streak now in his career, all the way through to UFC as well. I've picked him in every fight, and I'm going to pick him to beat Makhachev as well. Little spoiler for my own prediction video. But my take on this fight is amazing matchup. I think Makhachev, there's a narrative that Makhachev's ducking Ilia Topuria.
So here's what it all comes down to. Islam Makhachev's legacy is on the line right now. He's already the lightweight king. One more win and he's holding 2 belts at the same time. Add a potential White House card to that. He'd be cementing himself in MMA history forever. Nobody could ever take that away from him, but standing directly in his path is Jack Della Maddalena, a stone cold killer with dynamite in his hands and nerves of steel. Jack's not showing up to just compete. He's showing up to become a legend in one night. So the $1 million question question is this: does Islam prove he's one of the all-time greats? Or does Jack pull off the biggest upset the UFC has ever witnessed? And if Islam somehow gets past JDM, would you actually want to see him take on Ilia Topuria next? Maybe even inside the White House? Who's your pick, Islam or JDM? And could a White House fight card really become the biggest event in MMA history? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single update. Because if Islam Makhachev actually steps into the cage at the White House, we might be watching history get made right in front of our eyes. This isn't just another fight, it's a defining moment that could reshape MMA's entire future.